Okay, well, I'm just going to get started for those of you who join later. I wanted to talk today about something that I have experienced many times in my mothering and in my, basically since my mothering, that this idea of survival mode. So I just started, those of you, the couple that just hopped on, we're talking about survival mode. I had a phone call yesterday from a family member who said, I feel like such a failure, and just really discouraged. And I just couldn't believe it, because this person is so good in so many ways, and they do such amazing things. And for them to feel like that they're a failure, it's terrible. So I'm going to try to break this down in a easy to understand way. We all have things that we excel in. Maybe it's cooking, maybe it's cleaning, maybe it's discipline or creativity, all these different things. And but there are times in our life where we have to say, I can't do all that right now. Maybe there's an illness. Maybe you have the flu. Maybe you just had a baby. Maybe you're at the end of your pregnancy. Maybe you had a surgery. All these different things. A lot of times we feel like if we can't keep up what we do on a normal basis, that we are failing, or that God is maybe not as proud of us during those times. And one thing I really want to get across today is that God is not looking at you as a machine and what is your output. He does not. He looks at your efforts and your heart, but it's not based on your output, on your value. So a lot of times in this world, we feel like, what do we contribute, what can we, but that's not where our value comes from. Our value comes from God. So when I first started having children, and I had maybe two children, and my house was gross, and I was overweight, and I was dressed bad, and I just felt like I felt like a failure. I felt like I thought I would have been good at this, and I was failing in all these areas. Something that I thought I would come easy to me did not come easy at all. And I can remember thinking, I need one person to take care of my sick infant. My second child was sick. He almost needed a feeding tube. I need one person to take care of my toddler. I need one person to clean my house. I need to go take a nap during all this. So I felt like it was a job for about 4 or 5 people. And then as I got better at things and I started getting more skilled in areas, then I would, my house was coming together. I was getting organized, and the kids were thriving, and homeschooling was going great, and all these things. And that's wonderful. And that is a great place to be when you're thriving and your marriage is thriving. That's awesome. But I can guarantee that you're going to go back into survival mode whenever you get a stomach bug, or again, sickness happens, or maybe there's a death in the family. And the biggest thing that you can do during that time is to realize that you're in survival mode, that this is not how you would prefer to live your life, but at the moment, that's all you've got to give. And God totally understands that. He can see the whole picture, and He knows that you wish your house was cleaner. He knows that you wish maybe you had more energy to make a more nutritious meal. Some of those things are going to go by the wayside, and you have to be okay with that. It's just for a time. It's not forever. It's just a season. And so I like this story of, it's a true story. It's about 10 Vietnamese priests who were escaping their communist country. And so they would live in this house, and they had to keep the house very messy, or else the authorities or whatever would know that they were a religious organization if the 10 men kept everything super tidy and orderly. And so they had to keep the house a mess. And the priest that was telling the story was saying what a cross it was for him to bear, to live in a messy place. And so even when we can't offer, when we like to be really neat and we can't be because we're so tired, or we stayed up all night with a feverish child, that is an offering to God, and we can offer that up. Or, during a survival mode, if I'm postpartum, we use all paper plates, and I'd rather not do that, but that's just where I'm at sometimes. Maybe my kids watch more TV than I like, but as soon as I'm better and I'm healthy, we go right back into, I know what to do in the different areas of life to get back into that thriving mode. I often use the example of, it was Ash Wednesday one year, and I had 4 kids under probably 4 or 5 years old, and I decided we were going to get ashes even if it killed me. And so I took them all by myself to church, and I had like a stroller at the time because I couldn't carry all of them. And so I had the 2 kids in the stroller were like fighting. Then I had a toddler I was like trying to pull with me, and I was holding a baby, and I think the air conditioning might have been out at this church at the time. We were sweating, and there was no music at all because it was Ash Wednesday. And I just looked around, and I could see all these people just feeling so sorry for me. And when I got back to the pew, I heard God almost audibly say, "I did not tell you to do that. That was all on you." He would not have expected me to do that. And I realized, oh my goodness, I have higher standards for myself than God does. So he doesn't mind your temporary low standards. But I find it very helpful when you realize, you know what, I'm really not feeling good. I pulled a muscle in my back, or I have a sinus infection. I'm just under the weather, whatever it is. And then get your most basic things done and call it a day. Or if you're really in survival mode where you're just getting your bearings again, the biggest things that you can do is make sure you're eating well, eating really good, healthy foods. Make sure your kids are eating, meaning that should be your focus of the day. Okay, what am I going to cook? And I need to get dressed for the day, and I need to keep my 10-minute prayers. And then that's it. And then be proud of yourself that you got those 3 things done. And as you feel better, and as things get better, you know that you'll get back on track to where you're doing all those things that you do well. You're going to be doing them well again very shortly. And offer up that messy house, or whatever it is that you wish you were doing better. Offer that up as a cross to bear. One last thing, one of my favorite sayings is humiliation leads to humility, and humility leads to holiness. So it's humbling, and it's embarrassing when someone comes over and your house is a wreck, or you're no telling. We all know what it's like to be in survival mode. I don't need to give examples of that. But thank God for that embarrassing moment, because that will lead you straight to God. So I hope this helped y'all, and I hope that if you are in survival mode, go easy on yourself. And God is not expecting you. He's not looking at your output. He's looking at your efforts, and he will bless your efforts because of you're doing them with him in mind. So that's it. I hope y'all